Georgetown. I'm Beverly Enos, and you're watching Spotlight Georgetown. Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. This is the cable station in Georgetown, and this is the cable show for Georgetown. So it's yours. If you would like to come down and learn how to run a camera, if you would like to learn how to run the cameras just in general, and borrow them for something that's going on in town or a nonprofit, they'll be more than happy to teach you anything that you need to know. They have some really neat equipment. They have a whole studio down here, and it's amazing how much equipment is in there. So if you're into either photography, cameras, movies, or just a lot of computer stuff, it's kind of a fun place to come and visit, and would like to have you join us. Now today we're talking to Stephen and Brody Flynn from Nunan's, and we're going to talk, actually it's a fun thing today, it's about miniature golf. So here we go. Stephen, you go by Steve or Stephen?
Either or. Depends on who I'm talking to.
How about me?
Stephen.
Okay. And Brody?
Yep.
Okay. So we make sure we get the right people in the right place.
Yep.
Are either one of you from town?
Yes, I am.
You are?
Yeah.
And you live in the house actually next to Nunan's?
Exactly, yeah.
And how long have you been there?
This will be my 11th year there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's one of those doesn't time fly when you're having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how about you?
I'm local, from Groveland.
Okay, so you still live in Groveland?
Yep.
And that's where your dad lives too, isn't it?
My
or
dad
you used to?
Used to, yep.
Okay,
Yep.
I knew that. But you have the business there in town. Do you have either one of you, other families? Family members? Wherever you are? No?
Yeah, I have 4 kids. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Ages? Or age range?
Yeah, all the way from 6 all the way up to 19.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a very large age range.
Yeah.
Do any of them work at Nunan's?
Yeah, my oldest.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those, it's a family business, and everybody's going to jump in at some point or another.
Exactly.
Education or history, or did either one of you do any education to work at the nursery? I call it a nursery. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just
grew up with it.
certification classes and stuff, but grew up in the business.
Okay. Now certification classes. What types of classes are those?
Just for just like specific stuff, working with
The horticulture end?
yeah,
Okay.
horticulture end, yeah.
All right. Because I know they do a lot of that around at Essex Aggie and
Yeah.
in places like that too,
Yeah.
just as well. Okay, for each of you, how long have you worked with your dad? I think you've been a little bit longer, so why don't you go first?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been there since he bought the place almost 30 years ago. So.
Really? Is
I've
he
been
there that long?
Yeah.
Okay, it's called Nunan's,
Yeah.
but of course his name isn't Nunan,
Yeah.
but he bought the place about 30 years ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
And at that time it was a small active nursery,
Yeah. Yeah.
and now it's a large
Oh yeah.
active nursery.
Yeah, we've expanded pretty good over there. Yeah.
It's funny, when I built my house about 20 years ago, I was looking for a specific type of plant. And I always thought of Nunan's as Nunan's, you know, right down the street, and you can go get flowers and little plants for the house and things
Yeah.
like that. And when I was looking to put in one specific type of bush, I went to a couple of places and they said, oh, for something like that, you have to go to Nunan's. Do you know where that is? I said, okay. So that's where all the stuff in my house came from. What types of things does Nunan's offer, just in general across the board?
Anything from bulk landscape supplies to
Which meaning mulch and
stuff. So
Okay.
from hard goods all the way till we do vegetable seeds. We do small end stuff you can grow yourself, and then we do finished stuff as far as like seasonal plants and annuals, and then into still back with landscaping stuff. You do some finished landscaping with shrubs and trees and perennials and that such.
Okay, at this time of the year, you know, when you're talking just spring, pretty much of every year, out in
Yeah.
front, there's lots of perennials and lots of annuals and herbs and all those types of things, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of plants out front.
Yeah.
And then inside, there's the greenhouse area,
Yeah.
and the biggest parrot that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And what's
Yeah.
his name?
Jacob.
Jacob. And he
Yeah.
talks.
Oh yeah.
He screeches a
Yeah,
lot.
screeches a lot more. Usually he talks more first thing in the morning, or he'll say goodbye at night when you're closing the curtains and shutting off the lights.
Really?
But yeah, he'll talk when he wants to.
Yeah, he's a very big parrot.
Yes,
and
he is.
nobody seems to bother him. Of course,
No.
there are signs that say, don't
Yeah.
bother the parrot.
Yeah.
And he also has huge claws and a huge beak and kind of scary looking when he's screeching at you.
Yeah.
The kids always get him going.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
And if they talk to him and tease him, does he yell back?
Yeah, mostly just the screeching end, but he doesn't tell him too many things.
Okay,
Just the screeching.
but it's a fun thing for the kids to come in while
Yeah.
mom or dad are shopping around, and
Yeah.
plus inside you have a lot of nursery area that's for small equipment, for gardening. A lot
Yeah.
of gardening equipment and hose and shovels and
Yeah.
gloves and all the types of things, and fountains.
Yep.
Lots of pots, all that type of thing inside
Oh, yeah.
as well as outside. I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of the different fountains. Miniature golf.
Yes.
Why did you decide to do miniature golf? Or who decided?
I guess that would be one of my ideas, because we kind of tear off of getting real busy late June, and I was trying to supplement, trying to get more people in and more people to come in, because you see a lot of farms now doing corn mazes and kind of all this other stuff where they can bring people in. They actually have, it's called agritainment. So I was trying to think of something.
Agritainment?
Yeah.
Agriculture entertainment.
Yeah. So we were trying to
New
figure
word
out
for me?
how to do that, or what we could do, because of course we don't have cornfields or anything. So
Right.
one of my ideas would have a mini golf, but planted with all natural, what we grow and what we sell, planted in this whole mini golf course with the labels on it, what it is, how it grows, all that stuff. So you basically
neat.
be playing mini golf, and you can write down what you like throughout the whole mini golf, and then you could shop after.
Captive audience.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be a miniature golf, with the little pretend houses and
Nope, it's
the little
all
windmills and all that type of
a
thing.
lot of water features, a lot of bridges over the water, and yeah, it's real natural looking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, so that's how it ties into Noonan's. That was one of the questions that was probably my next question.
Yeah.
So it ties in because of all of the agriculture part that people can actually figure out what's growing, seasons and how it's grown, and
Yeah.
whether it needs sunlight or shade or
Yeah.
all that type of thing.
Yeah.
A lot of shrubbery.
A lot of shrubs. It's probably going to be 90% shrubs and 10% annuals that will change out every 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll have, in the spring, you'll have bulbs that will
yeah,
come up, and then
pansies
impatiens, and
and-
then
yeah.
in the fall you have the fall type
Yeah.
plants.
Yeah.
Where is this going to be located? For the people that don't know, that haven't seen the bulldozers for the last couple of years, where
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah. Well, if you're driving by, going Noonan's is on your right. It's off to the left-hand side.
Okay.
If you're looking right at Noonan's, it's off to the left. Where we used to have our own nursery out there, with the waterfall. A lot of people remember the
Yep.
waterfall, and it's all incorporated into that. So,
And there used to be greenhouses out that way, and that's where the shrubbery and all that type of thing was.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the driveway is at one end. This is at the opposite end
Exactly. Yeah.
of the Noonan's property itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
is
Right.
the-
Right behind his house.
right behind his house.
Yeah.
What has been a lot of construction? What
Yeah.
has been involved in this construction? I mean, bulldozers
Lot of things.
everywhere, and
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we had to take out 3 of our older greenhouses.
the ones up by the street.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those were all glass, kind of not really efficient enough to grow. It was taking a lot of heat during the off season, so we took those down. We're adding 35 spots for parking when we took those down.
Okay.
We had to redo some piping to get all the new water runoff with all the new parking, so we had to increase the pipe and that type of stuff to able to handle all the extra parking.
Now, is it going to be a flat type miniature golf, or is it going to have
It's
Some hills and dales.
multi-tiered. Yeah, it's you'll be able to see all different holes, and some of them are up high, some of them are down low. It's definitely multi-tiered.
like regular golf.
Exactly.
That'll be fun. Where did everything go that used to be there? I mean, there used to be some greenhouses there. There were outdoor plants, and a lot of shrubbery was there. Where is it now?
Yep. So one of the first projects that came down with those greenhouses, the glass greenhouses, we had to kind of rent from Ingraham Tree Farm, and we moved a lot of our perennial growing process into those greenhouses for the winter time. And then really where the location of the mini golf takes place was where our shrubs and trees were, and our shade perennials and other perennials that we sell. We've moved all that behind the main building.
Okay.
So we've redone
you've gone
that.
back.
Yeah, we pushed that out back, kind of hoping we really want to put the mini golf right out in front and put that
So that people can see it.
forward. Yeah. Yep.
It's not going to have a big orange dinosaur or anything, is it?
None of that stuff. Nope.
None of that stuff.
No.
That's good. Now, so looking at the property, on the right-hand side is all the mulch, and there are some greenhouses there.
Yep.
And then the main building, so there are more greenhouses back there now that you put, plus all the shrubbery and all of that you moved.
We didn't do any greenhouse construction, but we did some nursery bed construction. We just did some raised beds back there to kind of place all the trees and the shrubs out there. We were able to recycle one of the old glass greenhouses, and we're using that as a shade structure for a lot of the low light perennials.
Okay. And then on the left-hand side, facing the building, is going to be the miniature golf.
Yep. There's going to be there's a little stretch of greenhouses that we've had there for a while, and then just after that is the mini golf.
Okay. So that'll be fun.
Yep.
Is there a theme?
Yeah, garden golf. I think we've
golf,
come up with.
Yeah.
Is that going to be the name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Noonan's Garden Golf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. That's
Yeah.
neat. When you were putting this together, what type of research did you do to make a decision of whether to go forward with this or not? You know, the economy is always changing and in flux, so this is not something that you just jump into overnight.
No, I mean, we went on vacation a couple of years ago to the Cape. I know it's something totally different, but we were trying to look for cheaper things to do when we were out on vacation.
Oh, do with the kids?
With the kids. Yeah. So, family of 4 kids and a wife, and that's usually the cheapest thing to do rather than going to the movies or something like that. But I've probably been to 20 or 25 mini golf courses, and I happened to find one that I really loved, and it happened to be the company that did ours at Noonan's.
Okay, so a company actually comes in, designs it,
Yeah.
and then you do all the process work.
No, they actually came in and installed everything.
Really?
So the only thing we had to do was put the irrigation, and we're finishing up with placing the plants and planting
So the planting
them right
part
now.
is yours.
Yeah.
That's the agriculture part.
Yeah.
Okay, so a company, I didn't realize companies actually did that.
Yeah.
I suppose there's companies for everything. It's probably a trade show for it someplace too.
Oh yeah, they have one in Florida.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, neat.
Oh yeah.
I was kidding, but I guess not. So, how many holes? Is it 9 or 18?
18.
18 holes.
Yep.
So just like regular golf.
Well, 18.
Normally in miniature golf, if you get a hole in one on the last hole, you win something because it takes the golf ball and you don't get it back anymore.
Yeah.
So what do you get instead?
Well, we were going to do a 19th hole that was scratched from the plans. We just did an 18, and it takes your ball at the end. You can get a hole in one, or you can just hit the ball in, and it takes your ball. As far as the prize goes, it's to be determined, but it'll probably go along the lines of a free round, or
Okay.
maybe an ice cream or something like
Okay.
that.
Speaking of which, will there be any food and drink?
Yep.
Who's going to handle that? Who's going to handle that end?
Well, we're hoping to open up. Well, we used to have the ice cream over there.
Over by the playground.
Over by the playground. We're
Okay.
hoping to open that up again to serve the just ice cream, fraps, sundaes, stuff like that. No
Soft drinks.
Yeah, soft drinks. No food right now. We're hoping in a year we're hoping to put in a 4,000 square foot cafe that we got approved for.
That's huge.
Yeah, so we're just we're we're trying to.
That's the size of a big house.
Yeah, yeah.
And where would that be?
That's going to go closer to the road, kind of in front of mini golf, but right up next to 97.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be for people, even if they weren't doing miniature golf, they could just come and have lunch or dinner or.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
It's going to kind of be very fresh, farm to table type stuff. Natural.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't have anything like that pretty much any place around.
No, it's not.
Not even the surrounding towns.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be really different. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that. What do your kids think of all of this?
They love coming down at night and seeing how it's looking. But the Serena likes to walk the whole course, and she'll drop the ball in to see how it fits in there. So they can't wait. They've already. I think they're going to be our biggest advertisement, because they're telling all their friends, "Oh, you got to do it."
They get to play for free. You're going to lose money on these kids. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
So, and what grade is Serena in?
She's going into first grade next
Okay.
year. Yeah.
So that's really the age that you're looking to start these kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Preschool and first grade.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have we're hoping to do birthday parties. We'll do some fundraising efforts there and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll set up birthday parties, and that'll include, ice cream and balloons and
Yeah.
all that type of thing.
Yeah.
And fundraisers, what would you do as a fundraiser? What types of things would you be able to do there?
Well, right now we're my daughter has Down syndrome, so we do the buddy walk in Wakefield, and
Okay.
that's a huge part. We've done some other stuff. It would be like before hours or after hours, so we just shut the whole mini golf down just for that day, and invite people and say 10% of that or 20% of that
Okay.
that day's money.
Of that take, yeah.
Yeah, of that take would go towards Team Serena or just the buddy walk itself.
So you actually wouldn't even have to shut it down. You could just do that
Yeah.
on any day,
Yeah.
on such and such a date, or
Yeah.
on her birthday or something
Yeah.
like that. You could, the percentage would go. Would
Yeah.
you do it for other groups in
Oh, yeah, we're-
Georgetown, like, baseball teams or
Oh, yeah.
softball teams?
That's kind of another reason why we wanted to start doing something like this, because there's not a lot of things for that, and
Yeah.
other towns do it. I know Richardson's has a day like they do that, so yeah, we're definitely anything we can do for that type of stuff.
For the kids in town, for all the
Yeah.
different types of fundraising.
Yeah.
So we have a name,
Yep.
and again, it is
Garden golf.
Garden Golf. Now, when do you think you're going to be open?
Originally, we were shooting for late spring. It's going to be more early July, I think, right now. Finishing up
Everything
some.
always moves back when you're doing construction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So we're looking at July.
July. Yep.
And what's been done so far? Are any of the holes in, or?
Yeah. So just yesterday, speaking of his kids, we just got the water running yesterday. So the fountains are all spraying out. His kids came running down, and they had a ball yesterday. All the holes are pretty much in. Just the greens need to be laid out, hopefully early next week at the
Okay.
latest, and then it's up to us to get the rest of the stuff done as far as landscaping and final touches go. And then
18 holes, that's a lot of landscaping.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
Do you have any idea the number of plants that are going in there at all? It's got to be.
Just for the shrubs and trees alone, it's over 150,
Okay.
and then
And that's the big stuff.
and that's just the big stuff. Yeah.
And then the small stuff will be a lot more, and then the seasonal will be even more than that.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Now, hours. What will the hours be when you open?
Yeah, it probably won't be right when the garden center opens, because I don't think anybody will be wanting to golf at 7 in the morning. So
No. So Noonan's itself opens at 7,
yep.
and they close at what time?
It's all seasonal, but right now it's 6 o'clock, and then Fridays and Saturdays it's 7 and close.
Okay. So it's Fridays and Saturdays are busy. So in the spring
Yeah.
is really your busiest season.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
That's when everybody's doing plantings and gardens and
Oh,
mulch
yeah.
and
Yep.
getting
Yeah.
their houses ready.
Yeah.
Do you have another rush later on in the fall?
It's basically April, May, and June are our three biggest, and
Okay.
then once we get into August, September, we get a little bit of a rush with the mums and cabbage and kale and stuff like that. And then it kind of peters out for a little bit. And then November and December is another Christmas trees, wreaths, roping, poinsettias, all that stuff. We'll kick in for another month and a half. And then we kind of
Take a little rest.
take a little rest January, February. Yeah.
Now, I will tell you, I bought one of the, I think it's some sort of fir tree last year. The ones that they're already pre-planted in a big pot,
Yeah.
and you can have them outside,
Yep.
or you can bring them inside for a couple of weeks to decorate for Christmas. And I did it because I have 2 Singapore exchange students at Northeastern. So I thought it would be fun to have something like that for them. I put it outside on my front porch, and we decorated it for Christmas with the lights and the ornaments and all of that, which was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people realize that you can do that. And it's a lot more fun. It's a little less traditional than the tree inside,
Yeah.
Definitely.
but it's a growing tree. And right now, it's growing in my front yard.
Oh, sweet.
So that's one of those, people can look into something like that.
Yeah.
And, every year you can even, my plan is every year to do another tree and end up making a green
Yeah.
fence
Yeah.
for part of the property.
Yeah.
But it was really neat to be able to see it on the porch for 5 months and then all of a sudden
Throw it.
see it
yeah.
in the ground
Yeah, definitely.
in the front yard.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's something different. You always have different things down there, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about working, just in general, working at Nunan's? Your favorite part? Is it dealing with the people or the plants or not the people or?
Most of the time, the people. Yeah, just seeing them get stuff for their yard and knowing that they can kind of do their own thing and accomplish what their own ideas are in their yard and see what they come up with. Kind of, yeah.
I went down earlier this year when I was getting ready to do my spring work, doing quite a bit this year, and I wanted to do forsythia. So I went down and one of the staff came out, wonderful woman, and we tagged all the ones that I wanted, and they got delivered to the house and off and running. So it makes it,
Yep.
you make it easy, you really do. Now, what's your favorite part?
Just being, not a lot of people know this, but it is pretty family orientated. We have 2 aunts that work there. We have my father, my brother, myself, my son, my daughter every once in a while. So it is a family atmosphere. So it's that's the most enjoyable part, is seeing basically the same people every day, and it's a lot of hard work, but I think everybody loves it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I just love every aspect of it. It's just it's a cool place.
If you have to work, you may as well enjoy what you do.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
both of you seem to do that.
Yeah.
The smiles keep on coming.
Yep.
Thank you very much. This has been great. Thank you very much.
Thank
you.
you.
It's been fun. So if you need something to plant, or if you want to play miniature golf in a little while, a couple of months maybe, think about going to Nunan's. I'm Beverly Enos. You've been watching Spotlight Georgetown. Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Thank you for joining us. Bye for now.